and of course I was the enemy uptown, and they were the enemy downtown, what transpired was that Larry and I would, for a better word, sneak out at night and go hang out with each other, which was totally against the rules. You know what I mean? So
which you guys always broke the rules,
and we decided that what the shops were doing was all well and good, but we could take it a bit further and get into sort of merchandising and stuff like that. You know what I mean? To make it more of a cartoonish, like, larger than life scene, which it needed. Sort of, Larry was a big follower, a fan of Ed Roth, and he'd worked for Ed, and that whole merchandising thing that Roth did, Larry was dying to do that, and I kind of agreed with him. So we got together and did the Bayonet Brothers, and we had Pat Redding draw up some cartoon characters of us. And at the time, I was writing for Iron Horse, Thunder Press, and CC Magazine, and I think In the Wind, and a few other publications.
My good friend Kim Peterson.
I would slip in the name Bayonet Brothers, and now and again, and the Adventures of, and pretty much people were talking, oh yeah, have you heard about what them crazy cats are doing now? But really, we were just two cartoon characters,
Yeah.
but we brought it to life, and it was just a great thing to do. For want of a better word, it was like we became the super group of all the little shops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because eventually, like a few of the fringe guys fell off, and there was just a core left, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
A core of about 5, 10, a dozen guys, and if you narrowed it down, it was down to about 5, and we used to call that the last of the tribe, because we were, that was it, the nucleus of the scene. And in 1998, we took the Grease Monkey and to the Easy Riders National Finals in Columbus, and got the Editor's Choice Award from Keith Ball, which was outstanding because at that time there were only a handful of choppers in the hall. It was all, the big billet barges and those Pro Street stuff, you know what I mean? So for a chopper to win at that time was pretty impressive, and basically we'd finally taken the East Coast out to the West Coast and made a dent, and they recognized it. So it was a big thing for us.
Well, I tell you what, man, the history and the stuff that you guys did is amazing, and my good buddy Kim Peterson over at In the Wind, he's just a really good guy. Me and him have the same birthday, July 12th. He's like 1 year older than me, but boy, when we get together and put us in the same room, we just interrupt each other the whole time we're talking. It's like, but really nice guy, and I just sent them a bunch of stuff over for all that stuff I did in Russia, man. And man, over in Russia, it's kind of like back in the day when you guys had it going on. I mean, it's almost like falling back in time. Everybody's building the old school bikes and trying to look like Americans and really love all our stuff, and it was really cool going out there, man.
Oh yeah, what amazes me is that what we were doing back in the 80s and 90s was out of necessity because we really couldn't afford to build the high dollar bikes, and so we found a niche to fix up the older ones, and we were buying all beat up chops from some of the older guys whose backs were gone, and they'd moved up to go ride dressers now, and we were selling all these old choppers off for nothing. So we took it upon ourselves to modify them to a specific duty for New York's style and scene and roads and all the rest of it. Established that look, and nowadays you look at it and you can see what a huge influence that had on what guys are building now.
Oh yeah.
I'll be honest with you, the young guys who are building now are probably going far and beyond what we were doing then. I mean, absolutely. There's a whole other generation, 2 generations passed under the bridge, and and they've taken it on seriously. And these cats are all good welders and machinists now, and you know, and they've taken it a whole step further, and are just amazing. It blows my mind. I mean, they could fucking out-wrench or out-build me hands down, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, but
absolutely, but that's not the point. The point is that we made a statement back then, and to this day, I mean, I still get compliments about one of the bikes they built, Babylon Taxi 1, which was probably the most recognizable of my bikes, and so many guys say that that particular bike was the finest, you know, modified swing-on bike that they'd ever seen, and it sticks in people's minds, and it gave them inspiration to build, you know, which is such an honor to have guys say that to you.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I tell you, man, I can put it in perspectives on you know, I used to play the blues a lot with the old guys, and I really tried to get into preserving their history too. I mean, I won't even give a guitar lesson to a kid unless he goes and does all the research and lets me know who Willie Dixon and Muddy Waters and John Lee Hooker, all those guys, who they are before I even teach them anything, right? And John Lee Hooker sat in a chair and played the E chord and sang. And, you know, he wasn't no like Jimi Hendrix guitar player, none of that stuff, but his style and what he brought into the music thing started a lot of cool stuff and opened the door for people like me and a bunch of other folks. And, you know, I might be able to play some licks better and, you know, guitar lick, but like I say, you guys, same thing. You started some cool stuff, man, and like you were saying, there's some kids out there that can like weld better and all that stuff, but they can never be you, man, and they never can be John Lee Hooker, and they never get. You guys are legends, and hopefully some of these kids, you know, learn from that and respect that, and that's the thing. A lot of our kids now want everything now. YouTube, click it now. Facebook, click it now. They really don't read a book. No, I'd rather watch the movie and that kind of stuff, right? And I really try hard on my show and my music and everything to let everybody know where we came from. You know, sometimes I had a guy in my band, I fired him because he said, why do you have to tell a story every time you why don't we just play the song, you know, like Molly Hatchet, where you just go boom, 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 boom. And I go, hey, dude, we're not Molly Hatchet. We're a motorcycle band, and these songs mean something to me. And if somebody don't know who Indian Larry was or Wino Willie and they hear the song, they're not going to know what the hell's going on. I have to tell a story. I have to tell the story and let them know why I wrote the song and what the song's about. And so if you don't get that and you're in my band, you don't stay in my band too long.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing is, and over the last, I guess, year or so, I've been here with Kevin Intensity Cycle, who, by the way, is my brother, and has given me a great shot coming back here. He opened the doors to me and said, if I come back, I got a job in a crib and somewhere to land, which is fantastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
Yeah, he is. But we've offered, and I think we've just given up on it now. We've offered so many people opportunities and said, hey, if you want to come down, you want to learn something, you know what I mean, I'll teach you. But you got to push broom for 6 months and do this and that. And they just want to jump on the bike, start tearing into it. And I'm like, no, you can't do that.
They don't want to pay the dues.
Show them something, and they got the attention span of a fucking gnat.
Right.
You turn around 10 minutes later on the fucking cell phone. And they put the fucking phone down. And then they get all frustrated that you know.
Right.
They got some other fucking agenda. Well, are you here to learn or not? You're not? Well, piss off then, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'll say that to anyone here on the radio. If you want to learn, I'm here to teach. You know? What's the point of having knowledge unless you can pass it on?
Well, and you know, there's this, like I got taught by John Lee Hooker, so if you learn something from me, you got taught by the guy that got taught by the guy. If you learn something from English Don, you got taught by the guy, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's an honor to be able to be taught by someone that's the guy.